Welcome. We're back. It's Bionicle Fan 444. Today, I'd like to show you my Mass Effect physical media collection. We have the Mass Effect trilogy. It comes in a nice slip mat sort of thing, or slip case, and then a cool steelbook-esque gatefold thing. Two by itself. They picked Thane, my goat. Not the best game. The Mass Effect comics. This thing is not a single thin comic like your average Spider. 800 pages of fantastic art. I have the art book for Mass Effect 1 only, the first game. Lots of great like concept arts of like the vehicles and normal objects and all the things that made Mass Effect 1 such a great kind of liminal retro modern sci-fi game. God bless it. This is the art of the Mass Effect universe. 3 included. The art of the Mass Effect trilogy, not universe this time. Expanded edition, which means, and we have the vinyl, my latest edition, Rex Red. Love Rex. The Asari, I hope that's on camera. If you also like Mass Effect and are watching a Bionicle channel in the year of 2026, we were meant to be together, not romantically, but spiritually. Additionally, in today's video, we will be covering Kiina. This is a big video because Kiina, I believe, is the first girl Bionicle on the channel. 2009 did a weird little thing where the blue Bionicle was not the girl of the release of the wave. I remember having this exact dialogue in an old video, probably the Terex video, because that is the blue Bionicle in question, which is a man. Breaking the Bionicle societal color norms. Traditionally, blue is like the girl Bionicle, so at least 1 in every 6 Bionicles is female. So, the second wave of 2009, the blue Bionicle was a girl, thank God, and this is her. We haven't gotten here yet, but I think probably at least one of the 6 small size sets for 2009 is technically a girl, but like, man, for being the last year of Bionicle, there is probably the least equal representation yet. Not very woke. Today, I'm thinking we're gonna do a little something different with the figure review, because, oh, pardon me. When I was re-looking at Kiina before this review, I realized that she had a very, very interesting build technique, especially for a standard medium-sized canister set. So I think we are going to introduce a brand new segment called Let's Rebuild This Part Together. We're going to take a look at this component of the set that I think is so cool that is worth rebuilding together to kind of reappreciate it. The area of the set I am getting at is her chest. For context, the most normal Bionicle chest piece design is this piece. This black chest piece with the 2 balls there, a whole cross worth of pinholes, and then it always connects in this spiky groin piece and the 2 balls here. And what I'm getting at here is that Kiina really has a different build going on for this. Before we dive into it, I will give credit to some other sets already that did deviate from the norm I just described. For example, the Skrull set we looked at here had that classic chest piece be at a 90-degree angle with the hip piece through that light gray right angle connector. Kiina really takes things a step further and has a whole mini build in of itself for the chest. So let's dive in. So here's the pieces for Kiina's chest build. So it starts off with these two kind of very technical pieces. I don't know what the piece names are for anything, but it's this one. You put these together here with the red pins. So this is a great example of like a thin piece compared to the normal thick piece. A thin piece is 1/2 of a thick piece. So all we're doing here is a very normal, oops, what the fuck am I doing? All we're doing here is a very normal build technique of combining two of the same thin piece to make a thick piece version of it. So now we have a thick piece version of that piece. Can you tell these videos aren't scripted? 2 black pins go in the back. These will be for the life counter signature 2009 Glatorian mechanic that all the sets have had. And then a blue pin goes in the front here, as well as the, where are they? Remaining 2 black pins right underneath. So instead of that normal chest piece design that we flashed on screen earlier, we've created just a super weird little Technic pin axle amalgamation here. After that, we have a nice little use of these gray ball socket pieces to start to mimic the 2 that are found on said traditional chest piece. So those alone, you are starting to tell that a torso is forming. Then the dark blue hip piece, which does not have a crazy weird substitution, does connect to those 2 black pins there. So especially with that, we have created Kiina's chest piece. The finishing touch is putting a lovely pale light blue limb piece on the front. So this is just a very normal lower leg, lower arm limb piece, but you flip it around and connect it into that extra long blue pin we put on right in the middle. And to be honest, it actually fits very satisfyingly in, covering the hole that was there between those 2 gray shoulder pieces. Like it actually clicks in nicely. By itself, it kind of looks like this weird limb piece is stuck onto the front. But when you add everything else to it, to be honest, it actually does serve as a nice armor piece if you kind of zone your eyes out a little, you know, and think more openly. Her head goes back on, the life counter piece goes on the back. So anyways, I just wanted to showcase that because was this the most revolutionary build? Definitely not. But was it kind of a cool overkill, weird idea to create a chest piece? I definitely think so, and I like that. I think whoever thought of that was either on crack or trying to just like use up old inventory. But to be honest, it gives Kiina some flair, and now you can kind of have context and some reappreciation for this figure. Let me know if you like that segment. To continue on with the rest of the build, we can return to starting at the feet. They are the same color as the limbs and as the chest piece, but when we zoom back up to that chest piece, mine is so discolored that they truly look like different colors, and they might be, but I think this one just like got discolored somehow. They're a lot more of a deep icy blue here. And I do like this foot in general. Our overall color scheme is like a light blue, dark blue palette. So that is a plus to me because there's very little gray or black as an in-between color. But the con is that I subjectively don't really love blue, but it is what it is. Moving up to the legs, the upper legs, this very cool, unique armor piece is employed maybe for the first time. I don't really know. I'm not confident enough to say, but it's a super sick piece. Very, very aquatic, very Zora's Domain coded in my opinion. It attaches in the same way that Vastus's shoulder armor did with these new limb pieces where the holes are on the side rather than the front. Now, this piece is so cool that they used it on the arms as well. So the arms are pretty much identical to the legs, especially because the same piece is used for the forearms. A lot of times a different piece will be used for the shins than the arms to kind of give stockier legs and longer arms or vice versa. But quite literally, minus the hands and feet, it is the same leg piece for the upper and lower parts, and same for the arms. So, in my opinion, if we're starting to put this together, I think they had to go overboard with Kiina's chest design, because otherwise, she would have been a pretty boring, very under-average build. But anyways, that's kind of just my theory. I do think it's supported even further, though, by the weapons being kind of lackluster in this set. You have just a completely default Thornaxe launcher held in one hand, and the offhand is a kind of dual trident, which is cool. I do like this piece a lot. It's two separate pieces that just connect on each end. But again, it's just nothing crazy going on. It's no Vastus staff, it's no Skrull sword, it's no Terex twin blades or like Malam's claws. I think most other weapons for the Glatorian and Glatorian Legends I think have been a little cooler. This is pretty bare minimum, even though the mold itself is nice. We'll finish up with the helmet here, which is good. I think the helmet looks feminine, it looks aquatic. I think they nailed it with the personality. And again, it is a dual mold or dual color sort of situation going on. A nice little bit of silver that pops in with the weaponry, but nothing too crazy. But I do think this is another highlight of the set, actually. It matches the leg and arm armor very well, and it gives Kiina some great personality. Overall, there's some interesting things with Kiina. There's some overly complicated, cool things. There's some kind of lackluster things. She really is kind of a hard-to-place build and figure, but I think that overall I do have a soft spot for her. So, to wrap things up, Kiina is interesting. Her colors are, as we said, solid. Not my favorite, but I don't think it's an ugly color combo. Her weaponry is on the lacking side, and her chest design is pretty crazy, for better or for worse. With all that being said, I do like this figure, subjectively, a decent amount. Definitely not my favorite Glatorian Legend. I don't think she'll be my least favorite. She is solid. Oh my god. I may be feeling a little bit generous, but I think we're gonna go with a nice even 8 out of 10. If you disagree with this score, please let me know why. Is Kiina your ride or die? Is she absolute F tier? I enjoy talking with you guys in the comments. You leave some pretty interesting comments. I hope that you had a good dinner, are watching a good TV show, enjoyed a good walk outside, enjoyed some good time with friends or family, or some good quality self-care time by yourself. I lost my train of thought, but I hope there is good in your life. Until the next video. I do it this shit all the time.